reaching those arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, palms to heart. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold, diving towards your mat. Resting here for a moment. Half lift and forward fold. Walking your hands all the way up to plank, navel to spine. And walking those hands back to your feet. Flat back, lift up. Inhale. Exhale, palms to heart. Again, inhale, lift up. Forward fold, diving it down. Half lift, flat back. Forward fold, walking back out to plank. Neutral spine. Walking all the way back into your feet. Lift up, overhead. Exhale, palms to heart. Inhale, lift up. Forward fold from your hips. Holding, half lift. Forward fold. And walk it back out into your plank once again. Downward facing dog, pressing those heels down, and plank. Downward facing dog, lift those hips, and plank. And again, reach those hips up high, raise your right leg in the air, point your toes. Bending your right knee, bring your knee to your chest and pump it in. Lift, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Extend it out long. Bringing your knee back to your chest and step through those hands. Lift up, high lunge. Palms to heart. Dropping it down a little bit lower. Making sure that front knee does not go over your toes. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, palms to heart. Planting those hands down on your mat. Extend back into plank, keeping that right leg in the air. Downward facing dog. Plank. And pump that knee in again to your chest. Lift and extend, downward facing dog. Bending your knee and stepping it through. Lift up, high lunge. Palms to heart. Coming down a little bit lower. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. Bringing those palms to your heart. Planting your hands on your mat, step back into plank. Downward facing dog, press those hips up and plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Lifting, pressing back, downward facing dog once again. Each time trying to go a little bit lower. Hopping between those hands. Lift up, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift with a flat back. Forward fold and jumping back to plank. Lift those hips up, downward facing dog. Extend your left leg up. Bend your knee and bring it to your chest and pump it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Extending it back, lift it nice and high. Bend your knee and bring it between your hands. Lift up into your high lunge. Palms to heart. Inhale, lift up. Palms to heart, exhale. Planting your hands down, step back into your plank, keeping that left leg lifted. Press back into your single leg downward facing dog. Bring that knee in and pump it again to your chest. Pump, pump, and stand back, single leg downward facing dog. Knee comes in, step between your hands, lift up, high lunge. Palms to heart. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, palms to heart. Plant those hands down. Step back into your plank. Downward facing dog. Bending your knees, hop between your hands. Half lift, forward fold. Lifting all the way up, inhale. Exhale, palms to heart. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, forward fold, and hopping back to plank. Chaturanga Dandasana, upward facing dog. And press back with those hips, downward facing dog. Reach through those heels, extend your right leg up high, bending your knee and bringing your foot through your hands. Lift up into your high lunge once again, palms to heart, bending that back knee and dropping it down towards your mat and lift up. So bending that front leg, front knee, your hands can be either at your heart or at your hips. Now down, hovering that left knee just above your mat. Lift up and holding it. Inhale, bending that front knee, palms to heart. Left leg extends long. Inhale. And now reach it forward and lift. Arms reach long over that right knee. Reach forward, lift up. Forward, lift up. Hold it here. Plant your hands to your mat. Step back into your plank. Right leg lifts up. Chaturanga Dandasana on that single leg if you can. Upward facing dog and press back. Downward facing dog. Plank, navel pulled in. Downward facing dog. Plank. Downward facing dog. Bending your knees and hop through your hands. Forward fold, half lift. Forward fold. Lift all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, palms to heart and lift up. Inhale, diving up forward on your exhale. Half lift. Forward fold, bending your knees and hopping back into plank. Chaturanga Dandasana, upward facing dog. Press back, downward facing dog. Lifting that left leg in the air now. Bending that knee and step through your hands. Lift up to your high lunge, holding it here, palms to heart. Extending that left leg long, bend your back knee and extend down and up. Bend down, extend up. Again, your hands can be either at your heart in prayer or on your hips, hovering that back knee off the mat, making sure that front knee stays behind your toes. Holding, bending that front knee, extend your right leg long, arms lift up. Bringing your hands to your mat, step back into that single plank and Chaturanga Dandasana on one leg if you can. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Bending your knees and hop forward through your hands. Half lift, forward fold. Getting a nice stretch in the backs of those legs. Bending your right knee, planting your right hand on the outside of that left foot, rotating, extending your left arm long. Look up towards those fingertips. Nice spinal rotation right here. Great for your hips. Coming back to center this time, bending your left knee, left hand to the inside of your left foot. Right arm reaches up high, looking towards those right fingertips. Right leg stays extended long. Both hands back to the mat, forward fold, and lifting all the way up with a flat back. Slight arch here, and come back to neutral spine, palms to heart. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Hopping back into your plank. Holding it here. Turning onto that right foot and right hand, extending that left arm into the air, looking up towards those left fingertips. Side plank. If you need to drop your right knee to the mat, feel free to do so. Another variation is bringing that left foot to the inside of your right knee. You can also extend it long for a little bit more of a challenge. Coming back to your knee if you're extended, turning over to plank, holding that knee in the air. Now bring that left knee to your left elbow. back to your knee. Knee to elbow, foot to knee. Elbow, foot to knee. Elbow, foot to knee. Extend back plank. Downward facing dog. Bend your knees and hop through. Forward fold, half lift, forward fold. Inhale, lift up, arms overhead, and exhale, palms to heart. Inhale, lift up, dive forward, forward fold, half lift, and forward fold, hopping back into your plank. Turning onto the left hand this time. Right arm reaches up. You can drop that left knee if you need to again. Otherwise, bring that right foot to the inside of your left knee. And if you would like a little bit more of a challenge, extend that right leg long, looking up the entire time. Bringing that right foot to the inside of your left knee, rotating back to plank, and you're tapping that right knee to your right elbow, bringing your foot back to the inside of that left knee. Knee to elbow, and back to your knee. Into your plank, downward facing dog. Bending your knees and hop through those hands. Forward fold, and lifting all the way up. Exhale, palms to heart. Inhale, lift up, diving it forward this time. Holding it here. Dropping that head down, releasing through your neck. Trying to get your chest a little bit closer to those legs. Looking forward, extending long through those arms, fingertips to the mat. Bending your elbows, reaching down. Extend long, bend your elbows down. Extend long, bend your elbows, trying to get a little bit deeper each time you bend those elbows. And bend, and release that head down once again. Rolling all the way up, standing position, mountain pose. Stepping that left foot back into warrior two. Turning that left foot out. Right toes face forward. Extend your left arm long, right arm overhead. Bending that right elbow, bring it to your knee and overhead. Right elbow bends to your knee, left arm overhead. Keeping this nice flowing motion right here. Holding it here, extending that right leg long and coming down into your triangle. Looking up towards those left fingertips. Bringing that left hand down to the mat, bending your right knee, and step forward into your standing split. Left leg extends long, bending your left knee. You're going to connect your left ankle to your right ankle and extend it back up. This time connect and bend that right knee at the same time. Lift and lift, bring it down and lift, bringing it down and lift, down, and hold it for a moment. Both knees are bent. Now extending it long, lift up, holding here for a moment. Step back into that warrior two, cartwheeling your arms up. Rotating, high lunge. So rotating that back foot in, reaching it forward long, over that front knee, and up overhead, high lunge. Arms reach out, extend, lift up, extend, lift up, hands to your mat, and step back into plank. Navel to spine, downward facing dog. Bending your knees, coming into tabletop, stepping in slightly so your knees are below your hips. Step out, left and right. In, left and right. Out, left and right. In, left and right. Again. leading with that left leg out and bending those knees, hop through your hands, forward fold. Dropping your head down and rolling all the way up, one vertebrae at a time. Palms to heart, stepping back this time with your right foot into warrior two, turning that right foot out, left toes face forward. Bringing that left arm up overhead, reach long down that right leg. Bending your left elbow and reach over. Lift up and reach over, keeping this nice fluid motion here. And reach over, lift up, and reaching over. Lifting back up, straightening that front knee, and coming down into triangle. Looking up towards your right fingertips. Bending that front knee, bring your hands back to the mat. Step in into that single leg split. Right leg lifts up, left leg is long. Trying to get your chest to your leg, bend your knee, connect the ankles and lift up. This time bend both knees, connect down and lift up. Lift and lower. Make sure you're really extending through that right leg as you lift it up. Down, lift up, down, and hold it. Hold, 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 and lift up. Extend long, reach through those toes. Hold, bending that front knee and step back into your warrior two, lifting up. Back legs turned out. Now turning in, high lunge. Both toes are facing forward. Hands to your mat and step back into plank. This time walking in with your right knee and then left. In and back. Right knee, right leg, left leg. Keeping this going, leading with your right side this time. Plank, hold it here. Downward facing dog. And plank. Chaturanga Dandasana, keeping those elbows into the side of your body. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Press your heels down. Bending your knees and coming into tabletop position. You can arch that back for a minute and round it a little just to give a little bit of a release. Come down to your elbows, clasping your hands together into puppy pose. Trying to drop that chest down to the mat, keeping your knees below your hips. Extending those arms out, or you can bend those elbows and bring them up over your head, palms in prayer position. Inhale and exhale, trying to get your chest a little bit closer to that mat on each exhale. Knees or hips width apart, holding and breathing. And coming over to your elbows, drop your hips down into baby cobra, pressing those shoulders away from your ears. Release through that lower spine and press back. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Extend your right leg long, flex your foot, tap down, and lift up. Up, down, up, down. Keeping this going, making sure that right leg is extended long behind you, not out to the side. Lift and point and pump it. Up, 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 up. Reaching through those toes. Nice long line. And hold up. Flex your foot. and drop your knee down, lift up. Knee drops down, reach up, down, reach up, down, reach up. Trying to reach that heel to the ceiling. Down, lift up, down, lift up. And hold it, pump it, lift, 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 lift. Little tiny movement right here, reaching up through that glute. Hold it, hold, hold, hold. Point your toes, extend long, and pump it one more time. Lift. This is coming from that glute muscle. Lift, lift, lift. Keep it going, and hold. Reaching that left arm long if you can. Right leg still extends. And dropping that hand down, drop your knee down. We're going right into the opposite side. Left leg extends, flex your foot, and kick it up. Kick, down, kick, down, kick, down, kick, down. Reaching it nice and high, directly behind you. Hold it in the air, point your toes, and pump it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keeping it going. And hold it. Flex your foot, bend your knee, drop your knee down, and lift it up. Drop down, heel lifts up. Down, heel lifts up. Down, heel lifts up. All of the work is coming from that glute muscle. Lift up, down, lift up, and hold it, pump it. Lift, 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 lift. Keep it going. You're almost there. Hold, point your toe, extend long, and pump it once again. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Extending your right arm long in front of you if you can. Hold and release down. Pressing back into your child's pose. Extending through those arms and coming back into plank. Stepping your right foot through your hands, dropping that left knee down, release through your toes. Hands come to the inside of that right foot and walk it to the outside of your mat, dropping your knee out into lizard pose. You can drop down to your elbows if this feels good, or you can stay up on those hands. If you would like a little bit of a deeper stretch, you can also raise up on those back toes, extending long through that left leg. Whatever feels best for you. Holding. Another variation would be to drop that knee down and reach back towards those right toes, bringing them in towards your glute with that right hand, keeping your left hand planted. Keeping that right knee drop to the side, staying on the outside of that right foot. Holding it here, feeling that wonderful stretch for your hips. Go ahead and release the toes, planting both hands down, walk that foot back in, extend long and step back into plank. Bend your left knee in, step your foot between your hands, drop your right knee down, walking your left foot to the outside of your mat, and let that left knee drop to the side. You can come down to those elbows once again if that feels good. You can also tuck those right toes, extending long through that right leg, keeping your back nice and flat here. No rounding the spine. Whatever feels best for you. Go ahead and drop that knee if it's extended. Coming up on your hands, Reach back for your foot if you would like to. So bending that right foot in towards your glute, reaching for it with your left hand, and keeping that left knee drop to the side. Release that foot, hands to your mat, and bring that front foot back in. Lift up and step back to plank. Dropping your knees, press back into child's pose, extending long through those arms. Now release those elbows to your mat and breathe. Taking a deep breath. Inhale, exhale, and release everything. Releasing those shoulders, releasing your glutes. Inhaling and exhale.